It's the Two Gems Podcast.
Welcome to the Two Gems Podcast.
Oh, the audio is already on?
Oh, everything's rolling, I think.
We're
We're rolling.
How was your sleep last night, Matt?
What happened?
Just my bone to pick with you and your headphone situation.
Okay, before you start crying about me watching TV at night,
Yeah.
we're gonna do a big celebration.
Of?
This is something really monumental happened yesterday
For whom?
for me.
Okay.
I passed 8,000 followers on Instagram, baby. I've been staring at 7,000-ish for like a year and a bit.
Congratulations.
But I took most of last year off Instagram. I wasn't really active on there. So yeah, if you're not following at hero_ATV, that's me, that's my life. I want to change my handle around. It's been bugging me forever.
Yeah.
I hate the Instagram handle, but it's become who I am.
Hate's a strong word.
I hate it. I don't
Why?
like it. Because it's so tailored to ATVing that I can't pivot out of it. And it's like, I'm like very into off-roading and all that stuff, but like I'm also like a guy with a name and everything. And people are like, it's Hero. Like,
But that's how you started that account.
I know. I want to like get out of it. Like Peter McKinnon, this is his name.
Unfortunately, your name is Matthew Smith.
I know. It's the worst name ever.
Yeah, it sucks in terms, like for me, there's no other Sheridan Ingalls, so it was easy peasy when I changed my name. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking how nice that is.
I'm jealous. I'm so jealous you could just be at Sheridan Ingalls.
So what are you going to make your name?
A part of me is wondering, should I go at Matthew
Sheridan's
Ingalls?
husband? No.
At Sheridan's husband.
That's his identity. See if it's taken. Sheridan's husband.
Sheridan's husband, Matthew. Sheridan Ingalls cuck.
I don't even know what that is.
Someone will know. Leave it in the comments.
We're going to talk about our bedtime situation.
Is that really what you want to cry about?
I want to
now?
start with it before I forget.
Oh my God. All right, sure.
Okay, so
My sleep was wonderful.
I mostly want to know and speak to this because I don't think met a couple or heard of a couple that has the exact same bedtime routine where they like do the same things and then they head up to bed, brush their teeth at the same time, lights out, good night. Mm-hmm. I usually hear of people that stay downstairs to watch TV.
Okay.
And then they head up or vice versa. So Matt and I, since we've gotten together, like even when we used to talk on the phone 7 years or almost 10 years ago, I guess now.
Yeah.
I
Crazy.
told you how crazy it was that I was up so late because I always go to bed. I've done this my whole life. I go to bed early. I mean, let's just skip past university because that was just a crazy time. But I've always gone to bed quite early and loved it. No FOMO, no nothing. I do not have FOMO about anything in life. Do you?
Do I have FOMO?
Yeah.
You are all over the place.
Well,
right
I'll go
now.
back to my point. But do you have FOMO?
I'm usually the epicenter of everything.
So do you feel like you're missing out on things if you don't attend?
I mean, what do I not attend? I'm the one that organizes everything.
Yeah.
I am the organizer.
In fact, I thrive on not attending.
No, but like if all of my friends, like I don't know, like let's just say randomly for some reason all my friends were like, oh, we're going to a college this weekend, you're not coming. Yeah, it'd be FOMO and hard, but it would never happen.
Right. Yeah, no, so I don't have FOMO about anything. I never did. Even I'm thinking more of like when we were younger in our teens and our, 20s, when somebody would go out partying or something, and if you didn't
never
go.
missed a party.
Yeah, okay. That's the difference between Matt and I, is he was always there and I was never there. So all to say, I'm excited to go to bed. I can't wait. Get all cozy in my sheets, brush my teeth, put on my little lip stuff, my hand lotion, and good night. Matthew, for as long as I have known him, likes...
Man, you're cool.
You have to listen to something when you're sleeping. Even
Pretty much.
I'll wake up in the middle of the night and you have a YouTube video and it's beside your ear like this. Mm-hmm. You're sleeping like this, listening to somebody speak. Mm-hmm. Like you always have to have some sort of noise. Almost.
So, yeah. It kind of fluctuates. I mean, there's months where I don't, and then there's months where I do.
Right. But needless to say.
I don't... Okay. Keep going.
So, my beef with Matthew is that He went out and bought new Apple AirPods, okay? He loves these AirPods. He's been thinking, he sat on it for like 2 months. Like, should I get the over-the-ear ones or should I get the ones that go in my ears? He'd bring me to Staples. He'd tell me to test them out. He's testing them out. Loves these AirPods. Like, these are the bee's knees. So
They are really good. The AirPod Pro 3s, oh my God, they're crazy.
So how is it?
I can't wait to tell you.
Then when you're not using the excuse you said last night, and I said you specifically can't use this excuse.
I'm going to.
No, but it's not fair because, okay, so.
I mean, checkmate. They won't work with the TV. My old ones did. These ones won't. Samsung ran an update on the TV that won't let the AirPods connect to it.
What did you say right before you said that, though? Do you
Well,
remember?
at that point, I think I was...
You said, I don't like wearing headphones in my ears when I'm watching something on the TV. Okay, then sit down in the family room or go
so
in the
annoying.
playroom. You have all these beautiful TVs downstairs.
I'm gonna sit down here all by my
People do that. Yes, they
not
do.
what I do.
So
I'm gonna be all comfy.
This is the beef I have with Matt. I need to know if this is a thing for anyone else. If their husband comes upstairs, watches a movie, insists because it's my fault that I want to go to sleep early. Heaven forbid I want to have my eyes closed at 9 p.m. or 8:30, whatever it is. And Matt's like, well, just get over it. That's what he says. Just get over it. Fall asleep. Oh, and an extremely important
What are we
point.
titling this episode? Matt watches TV at night.
Shared Nichols'
I
husband.
cry
That's what we're No, but this is a very other important point. Matt likes scary movies. Okay. So last night he turns on this movie and I look and the first thing I see is a couple walking over to some girl standing in the middle of the street in the pitch dark. And they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, this is what I'm falling asleep to. This is it. It's not like it's like a rom-com.
Can I point something out?
Sure.
You went to sleep. I watched it.
Yeah, because
I've never seen you
want to know why?
go to sleep
Do you want to
more
know
amazing.
Why? Take a guess why I fell asleep.
Because I cuddled you?
No, that was nice, but take another guess.
Yeah, can we chalk that up in the cuddle with no sex
Take
bracket?
a guess to why I fell asleep. What do you think I did when I saw what movie you put on?
Well, I know that you took 4 diarrhea pills last night, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Sharon's bowel's been backed up for a while.
We'll go over that in a sec. I looked up the movie synopsis. I do it every time.
So what happened? I didn't watch it. I turned it off like halfway. I was like, this sucks.
I won't even bother saying
No,
it on
quickly
screen.
say it. Where'd the girl come from?
She came from Germany. There was this man that turned out to be their neighbor. It's too complicated to even say it on screen. That held her captive and had murdered her mother.
Shit. Maybe I should have watched it.
And she had escaped by accident. Anyway, it's this whole thing. She ends up going back to her other family that's been looking for her and whatever. But I have to, when I know Matt puts on a scary movie, look up the freaking plot so I can go to sleep and be like, okay, now I know what happens.
Okay.
So, all to say.
How long have we been talking about this?
Where are your damn headphones?
They won't work.
Okay, well,
They
I'll
won't work
buy
with
you
the
a
TV.
cheapy little pair that will go in no problem. It must just be the Apple or something.
No, Samsung ran an update, and you can go online. Everyone's complaining about it. It's super annoying. Okay, I'm going to critique you for a second.
Yeah.
You look really, you look really hot, but not right this second.
What do you mean?
Undo your shirt. The girls look
Matt
amazing
has
today.
plans. No, so
No,
listen.
look, you're over there. Like, it doesn't even make sense. There, get them out.
Get them out.
Let-
No,
let a-
guys.
let a
I
little-
also want to talk about my hair because
What even is it?
Matt
You're like a hot librarian right now.
Matt bought me a Dyson vacuum for Christmas, which was so exciting. And then he also bought me the Dyson Airwrap. And I love Matt so much, but I'm wondering if he like sometimes doesn't really know me because I am so bad
God.
at my hair. Like I'm so bad at my hair.
I don't think it looks that
But
bad.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to try because these Dyson Airwraps are a freaking mortgage payment. So I better figure it out or I'm going to have to sell this. So I've been working on it slowly but surely.
Oh, just like looking around, like that side's pretty decent.
I know.
Whatever's
that's the
going on over
problem.
on that side,
But
I'm
this is
like,
the side that everybody's going to look at. Maybe it should just be audio for this one. Anyway, it's all good. I'll figure it out. But ever since I took out my extensions, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm just let me live, okay? Let me go through
no,
the
but
motions.
but at the very least, why don't you get your beautiful breasts out a little bit?
Oh my God! Stop talking about my tits.
Like they look.
Your beautiful breasts.
They look fantastic.
Hey,
Get them
Matt,
out a little bit.
we get it. You want to see my boobs? That's fine.
Yeah, okay, here's Danny Lapourier,
Yeah.
Instagram.
Sure.
Has a song that he dropped
Is
there.
this the nipples guy?
Yeah, the nipple size.
The nipple size.
The nipple size song. It's just like, do women ever wonder what size other women's nipples
I can
are?
pretty much guesstimate what somebody's nipple looks like just by seeing them.
Really? Really?
You can't? Like, I get it.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Put the brakes on. You're moving too quick on this one.
Okay, yeah.
This has some meat to it.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that you walk around and you'll guesstimate
Not
women's nipple size?
I won't just walk around being like, her nipple size. But if you were to ask me and be like, such and such nipples, what do you think they look like? I'd probably know bang on.
You seemed so confident going into this. I think you've thought about it. Like, have you ever looked at someone and been like, what size are her nips?
I've seen a lot of my friends' boobs because everybody just like when, whatever, we just walk around, get changed and stuff. And every time I see their boobs and nipples, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I thought they
Who
looked
has
like.
the nicest boobs out of all your friends?
Me.
If you take you out of it.
No, I'm not.
Who would have great boobs?
Oh my God, Matt, get over the boobs.
No, I'm actually super curious.
Well, everybody has nice boobs.
Oh my God.
They do.
Ladies and
Ladies and generic. Everybody has beautiful, different boobs.
Who came first to mind?
Nobody. Honestly, nobody. That's the thing. I haven't seen, like, I mean,
You're looking around. You're doing what, like,
No, you're putting me on the spot about my friend's tits. That's not fair.
just
I
like
think
who-
they all have great boobs.
Okay.
I'm not.
But who came to mind first?
I'm not choosing a specific.
Do you ever think about man's nipple sizes?
No.
Your brother?
Nice. Just throws
He's got
them
pep
out.
slices?
Okay, Matt.
No, but here's the thing, though. It's like this interesting thing with men,
Yes.
and I think, unanimously, all men wonder about nipple sizes. It's a thing.
Throw Jesse under the bus.
No, when Danny Lapourier put that video up the other day, I was laughing so hard. Like, I was like, oh my God, that's a lie. Jeff and I talked about one day.
Nipples are
We
very
talked about
interesting
Katie's
thing.
nipple
Yeah,
size.
Matt, maybe people don't want to talk about their nipples, okay? Leave them alone.
Little pieces of dog food.
I will say that I did hear a fun fact for women, FYI. Your ideal lip shade is the color of your nipple.
I've heard this.
Yeah, so if you're in Sephora and you need to know, just take little peeksies, like put them beside each other and be like, is this it? No, but that's what they say.
Show me your nip for a second.
Matt!
I just want to look at your lipstick.
This is getting ridiculous.
Okay. So
Are you
said
done?
no. Here's the last thing I want to say about it. You said that you think you could gauge it. You better get closer to the mic, or this is going to be like the only Sheridan's husband episode. You said that you think, based on like looking at someone, you could attribute a nipple size to them. Mm-hmm. How do you do that?
I just know.
How?
I can just tell.
How?
I can just tell
No,
based
like-
on like, just based on their body shape and the look of their boobs and stuff. Like, I just know.
What is like create an archetype for me? Though.
I
Like,
can't.
what do you think?
I'm over talking about nipples.
No.
I know you could talk about this for 90 minutes, but I'm
being
done.
completely serious. I think if I looked at you,
Are we really going to talk?
I think if I was walking down the road and looked over at you, I think I would also guess to be your exact nipple size. I do.
I'm done. Okay.
Dinner
Moving
plates.
on. As in minor. You know what?
funniest thing.
Here's the thing. It doesn't matter. All nipples are great.
I agree.
And I will
Every nipple's
say-
great. It's just it's something
You know what?
that people wonder about.
If you want me to get to talk about my nipples, since you happen to be on this subject and you won't let it go, growing up, because I used to see all my friends' boobs, I was like always a little bit insecure about my nipples. I was like, oh my God, like I got pretty big nips.
They're great nips.
But as I've aged, I actually love my boobs and nipples included. But here's the thing, and it's so interesting because women, I don't know if men do this so much like with their penises, but like all vaginas are different, all
Yeah.
nipples are different, and you can't help but like look over maybe in a change room or what you see like if you're watching porn or like something like this and kind of judge yours and be like, is mine? You know what I mean? And I think that that's too bad because I think sometimes it takes a while to get like secure in your own body. And anyway, so it took me quite a while now, and then I was like, oh snap, I got great nipples.
So what were you worried about?
I mean, and it's funny because I just had
Spit it out.
I
You thought your nipples were too big.
I did, yeah. But what's too big? I mean, come on. I think
This
everybody.
is so interesting to me.
I know.
Because here's the thing. As a man, all nipples are fantastic.
Yeah.
They are.
Right.
I'm not hating on any nipple size. I'm just
I remember one time my mom
just
telling
saying
me
it's
I
like
had
a-
like great breastfeeding nipples, and I was like, what?
No, but the thing.
No,
the
but
funny
this
thing
was
is-
before I had kids. And I was like, okay, so does that mean that they're huge? Like, you know what I mean? And then I got into my head and I was, whatever.
Oh my God, you are Kaya. In your own head about everything.
Yeah, well, a lot of women are in their heads about their physical appearance. They can't help it. But
You're all uptight now?
no, it's just we
worried
spent
about-
half the episode talking about nipples.
Well, we spent the other half talking about me watching TV in bed. Is what it is. I just think it's really funny that you think you could accurately attribute a nipple size based on someone's like appearance outside their clothes.
You don't think so?
I think I could too.
Okay, well.
I think I could too. I just want to hear it out of your mouth. What would like? Okay, so
Oh my God.
is this something that we have off air? Or do we like keep this going?
Yeah, I don't.
I
think
want to
we
know
need
who you think would have a little nipple.
No, see, we're not. Here's the thing. You
Like, what
can't-
type of person would have a little nipple?
I'm. Matt. You.
I have like dime-sized nips.
You literally have the small.
They're so small.
I know.
I'm self-conscious about it.
No, you're not. But nipples are very weird. Moving along.
Okay, what's next, babe?
Great. Jeez. Okay, also, another thing I want to say, and you can fight me on this, I strongly believe that when you place an online order and you go pick up your groceries, that they do a fantastic job selecting the fruits and vegetables. Matt disagrees. You've said this before, that you like to go in and get your own. But every time that I've ordered online, which is a lot, they pick out fantastic fruits and vegetables.
Well, I mean, I don't disagree with that. I think it would be ridiculous. They sit there and pick the shitty ones out.
You said that before. You're like, I think they just willy-nilly and grab whatever. And I'm
Well,
like,
no, but the thing that pisses me off is the fact that they're like, yesterday we ordered chicken. And then the guy reveals to you as he's loading the car up, I substituted your chicken. It's like,
no,
what
they
if...
didn't substitute. They just didn't have it.
That's ridiculous. How do you not have chicken?
Well,
Like, it's just one of those things that, like...
yeah, but what are you going to do? Call and be like, never mind, cancel everything else?
No, it's just imagine if all day we were planning like a chicken pasta or something. Or like the main item was chicken.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you were in the grocery store and your main item wasn't there, it's like you would pivot over to something else.
Like in a whole other grocery store?
No, I'm just maybe if you were like really excited about making like chicken carbonara or something like that and they didn't have chicken, maybe you'd rip up the street and grab chicken.
Maybe.
But like, or actively in the store, you would pick out a substitute item while you're there. Like, oh, okay, we'll just grab a piece of salmon for tonight or something. So I don't know. I get the idea of the ordering groceries online, but I'm also not like a huge fan of it. I kind of just like going in and picking out like what I want to get.
No, not me.
Well, that's because you don't go in grocery stores. You don't care about it.
Speaking of,
Oh my God, what now?
last night.
What?
Last night we made tacos, and Matt and I were upstairs speaking about it after, and I said I will save this for the podcast because Matt firmly believed that I couldn't make tacos. Okay, how did this start again? Please fill in the blanks, because all I remember is you saying
I can't remember.
you basically assumed that I wouldn't know how to make tacos from a taco kit. You said, I don't think you know how to do it. I'm like, are you?
It was kind of a blanket statement. You suck at cooking.
Well,
That's okay. You make a really good breakfast sandwich. I do the cooking in the house.
I can follow instructions. Whenever we get HelloFresh, it's delicious.
Okay.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
But like, I care about tacos, so I know how to make tacos. And this is quite simple.
No, there's an art to it.
Is there?
There is a little art to it.
Well, you left a whole lot
Would you
of...
have put fresh ground black pepper in the meatballs?
Did that make it superior?
No, but even yesterday you're like, so like, shouldn't you be like adding the mix? And I'm like, you have to drain the fat first.
Yeah, I knew
You wouldn't
that.
have even did that.
I thought you drained it. I didn't see because there was so much on top. I know how to make tacos.
Drain. She gets to the drain, number 4, drain the meat. What does that even mean?
Really? Okay, let's just cut down to some serious stuff.
You got something there, or should I ask?
I
you
have
something?
lots of stuff all the time, but
Okay.
what would you like to say?
No, I was gonna say I remember like we were talking about what advice that you would give your younger self as a parent, and I thought that was like kind of interesting.
Wait, sorry, as a parent? What do you mean?
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you were gonna give yourself like advice to your younger self, I guess you could just use that as like an open-ended thing.
Like-
I was thinking pertaining to parenting, like things to worry about and not to worry about and stuff. But
I think it really matters what age you're referring to. Because I think if I was talking to my 14-year-old self, I'd say something like, because I would obviously be starting my hormones and period, then I'd, it'd be different than if I was talking to my 20-year-old self.
Yeah.
So what
Okay.
version?
So I think one of the most pivotal years in your life is like probably in around grade 11 and 12.
Oh,
I think it's the most important time of your life.
why?
Okay, let me reword that. I bet 1 to 5 is probably the most important time in your life, but like that would probably be the next one because I feel like it sets the tone for like where you're going in this world. Like when you coming out of high school is crucial. Think about it.
Well, maybe you're speaking just on your own path.
No, but it really is though, because at that point in time, like generally speaking, most 17, 18-year-olds are starting to figure out where they're about to spend 50 grand on school. Like that's a big step for people. And like they're, that's when you're deciding like all those things. Are you going to fall in the trap for being peer pressured into like substance abuse and stuff like that? Like there's so much shit going on. Like,
Yeah.
Like I think about Theodore and Sage, and then I could just think about all the things that I'm really hoping that they manage to avoid as well as they possibly can going through high school. And then I think at Kai, it's a whole other bundle of things like men and
I think
shit. Like
I think what you kind of mean, if I can just sort of sum this up, is that from school, when you start in kindergarten up to grade 12, you have a routine. You go to school every day. That's your life. And it really doesn't sway from that unless you're homeschooled or whatever else happens. But like, that's what you do. You go to school every day.
Yeah.
You have your outside activities. You have your friends. And then everything changes.
yeah.
And it's a big decision to
about
make.
that.
Yeah.
At 18, your whole life changes.
Which is
Like,
really
generally,
young.
Well, it is super young. Kai is turning 8 in the summer.
I felt
Like-
very young. But it's funny because at the time, looking back, I'm like, wow, I was young. But at the time, I was like, I'm so old. I got this.
I know.
Off to university, 19, all by myself. I can do this. And I still needed my mommy and daddy, It's a big step to all of a sudden go from being, under your parents' care to being alone, if that's what you decide to do.
So are you agreeing with me now? Is that the most crucial time in your life?
I kind of think they're all really crucial. But yes, I can see what you're saying for sure.
Pivotal.
Yeah. Big
Like
decisions.
if I'm trying to think, and again, maybe it's just me, but if I'm trying to think of like, I'm 37 right now.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to just like jump in a certain period of time,
Mm-hmm.
like if I was just going to like jump in for a day and look at my younger self
Mm-hmm.
and give myself advice, where in my timeline of life would I probably opt to jump in and like put an arm around younger me and tell me something?
Mm-hmm.
It would be like right at the end of high school.
And what would you say?
I didn't really think about it. I just wrote the question down.
Uh-huh.
What would I tell myself? I just kind of blindly wrote it down. I was like, I'll ask Sheridan and see what she says. What would you say? And where would you jump in? Maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you jump in at like 24 and be like, yeah, it's okay. When Kaya comes out, everything's going to be all right. I don't know.
Well, I think everybody would maybe go back on different times, like times that were really important to them or times where things actually felt like it was the end of the world, and to say like, it's okay, it gets better, like something like that. And I try to remind myself of that because I don't like to use the word trauma lightly. I mean, a lot of people, I think, and I was saying this to my mom the other day, I said, I think everybody has a story that will break your heart. I really do. And everybody's experiences are different. But I do think that my family went through some shit. And there was a lot of dark days. And I think that I would have jumped in at that point. And,
So what point was that?
well, at the point when my parents weren't doing well and, everybody.
Wasn't there a lot of points for that happening?
Yeah, but I mean, like when I was a part of it. Like I think a lot.
When was this, Sheridan?
Well, that would have been right before I met you. And that was in
how
the
old
time
did
that
you
I
get
was
married?
also in a bad relationship. And I think that I think that had my family not been in the situation that they were in, that I wouldn't have stayed with my ex because I would have been able to see out of it and felt, love and whatever from my home. Not to say that my parents aren't loving. It's just they were going through their own thing at that time, that it wasn't so much about me. So I think I clung on to something else, like looking for love somewhere else at that time. Like even my dad will talk about it now and he'll say like, I'll tell him stories about what happened. He's like, I didn't even know that happened, right? Whereas my dad would have always known, but he just wasn't even there. Like he wasn't there to help. And my mom was, helping him and going through her own stuff medically and stuff. So I think I probably would have hopped in around the time when I got together with my ex and said like, past this, but move along. But to be honest, and I've said this to you.
That's not good advice. Okay,
It's not
keep going.
advice. No, I'm just talking.
Okay.
I was going to say, in the same breath, for me and my life and my story, I think I had to go through everything I had to go through to get to where I am now.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people would say that for their own lives as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's certain situations where it's like, that didn't need to happen to you, of course, right? But I think all the things that happened to me kind of led me to where I am now.
So glad you're saying this. Mm-hmm. I think, because I agree with you 100%.
Sure, but I think and Matt and I always we always have things on the tips of our tongues that we could talk about that we just kind of choose not to. But I think there's some things in your past that didn't need to happen for you to get to where you are today, So,
but what would happen? What would it be though? Like where would I be if those things didn't happen to me? Mm-hmm. Like if you're very content in the present moment with who you are as a person,
yeah.
then you should basically count everything as a blessing and a teaching moment in your life.
Yeah.
I don't think that I would be the parent that I am today without learning how I didn't want to parent.
Yes.
So it's almost like if I don't know, if I was treated differently as a child, maybe I wouldn't. I don't know, you never know. When they say the apple never falls far from the tree, and I generally think that mostly is relatively true. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm sometimes the apple does kind of roll down the hill a little bit and do something different. And I think that there's a lot of things that I saw from all of my parents. I have 4 of them. If you didn't hear the last episode, but from all my parents that I didn't like about them, and I hope that I improved upon. I think I did. And then there's other things where I'm, some things about myself a little bit that we've touched on that maybe I don't really adore certain things about myself, and I think that those are probably symptoms that kind of manifested out of some shit. But but I'm happy with who I am, and I think that all that shit was just kind of a part of my life.
For sure.
Yeah, and brought me here.
So do you believe in fate? Fate
No.
being that everything happens for a reason, that your life is kind of orchestrated and, that's when you're going to die. The universe knows it. You don't believe in that?
No. I think that...
FYI, it's literally tattooed on my body. It was my first ever tattoo. It says fate. Keep going.
I think, I don't know, it's such a weird thing to ask because there are certain things in life that I definitely think have a rippling effect that you don't even realize. Mm-hmm. So, I don't think that there's some tablet up in the sky that rewrote my story for me. I don't think that happens. But I do think that you make certain decisions in life that can have a massive impact on things even 20 years out in your life. Mm-hmm. I guess on one side of the spectrum, you could say if you kill somebody, your whole life changes forever. And maybe it was self-defense or something and something happened and someone died. All of a sudden, the trajectory of your whole life has changed. Was that written in stone somewhere that was supposed to happen to you? I don't know. I don't believe so. But I do think that, I got a speeding ticket one night coming into the city when I was 18 years old, and that speeding ticket made me lose my job out in Alberta. And after I lost my job in Alberta, I came home and applied to art school again a few different years and got accepted in art school, and it changed my whole life. If I didn't get that speeding ticket, I probably would have kept working on the oil rigs and making shit tons of money. It was just really interesting at that moment in time that seemed so insignificant. Mm-hmm. Actually was one of the most important things that ever happened in my 37-year life was getting that speeding ticket. Mm-hmm. And at the time I cried, and my mom cried because it was ruining my life at the time. Yep. But little did we know. If you asked me what I would tell my younger self, I think this is probably what I would tell my younger self. Mm-hmm. That I truly believe everything happens for a reason. And I don't think that that's magic. I don't think that that's some magical thing that's it happened for a reason. It's pre-written. I don't think that, to me, that's not what that statement means. It means when you look at life in as though everything happens for a reason, it allows you to embrace your shortcomings and fumbles and everything and learn from them and make yourself a better person. So like, I honestly think it's what I would do. I think I would swoop in around when I was 17. I'd put my arm around myself. And I think what I would say is something along the lines of like, stay focused, stay humble, stay creative, keep your drive, and just make sure that you just learn from all your mistakes in life. I think I would swoop in, say that, and swoop back out.
And do you think when you were 17, you would be like, oh yeah, that makes sense?
I was pretty deep.
Yeah.
Big weed smoker.
That makes sense, bro.
That makes sense, cuz.
Yeah.
I think I probably would.
I just looked up the fate definition. It says, the development of events beyond a person's control, regarded as determined by supernatural power. Fate decided his course for him.
Are you getting your tattoo
Be destined
removed
to
tomorrow?
happen, turn out, or act in a particular way. No, I think I kind of agree with that. I see.
Oh my God. I can't wait to hear where you go with this.
No, because I remember for me, when I first got the tattoo fate, which by the way, I used to literally write it. It looks like it says fat, which is fine, but it has like a heart around it and it says fate. And I used to doodle it in high school in my classes. And eventually I was like, Mom, can I get this? I think I was 16 and I thought it was so cool. And she's like, okay, let's do it. So anyway, I always believed that definition was everything happens for a reason. That's what I thought fate meant. Yeah. Everything happens for a reason. And I believe in that. Yeah. I think everything happens for a reason.
Why? Because of supernatural powers that make it happen, or because if you look at life like everything happens for a reason, then you learn.
I also think like there's some weird stuff that happens in the world. There's some like weird. Ooh. Don't you think? Or like also, okay, side note, and I'm not sidebarring from my fate to try and like justify it, but deja vu. Deja vu is totally weird. And there's been times that I've had deja vu when I have never even been somewhere. And I'll be like, I've been here before. Yeah. What's up with that? People will say that's because you have a parallel life somewhere else. That's what they say deja vu can be. Has there ever been a moment where you're like, I've done this exact thing before, and you've never even been there? So what's that?
I don't know.
Like, that's weird.
Oh, glitch in the matrix. I don't know.
Like, and I'm telling you, like, there's been times where I'm like, I can actually feel myself being in this place before. Like, I don't know. There's just something that I'm like.
So, but if everything happens for this reason, on the supernatural side of things, then how do you explain like super bad things that happen?
I don't know.
Like, are they are they just a lesson for the rest of us? It was just like a sacrifice in the story. Like, I knew a 4-year-old girl that died of leukemia. I knew her.
Really?
4 years. No, but like 4 years old. Like, was that a part of it? I don't know. Maybe. It's super, super sad. And like the same thing that I said about Pat, if someone passes and we all don't learn from it, then it was a waste of someone's life. And like for Maddie, I remember when I watched her pass away at 4 years old, I just remember thinking, I'm not going to waste my time on this earth, because that little girl deserved another 80 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
And that's how it tattooed on my hand right by my watch. For everybody that's ever wondered what that says, it says tempus fugit, and what it means is time flies. And I put that right beside my watch, so every time I look at the clock on my hand, I get this reminder that like every moment is fleeting, and like just use it all. You know what I mean? Like yesterday when we went out and had just like a random day in the woods with the kids, it was like we didn't have to go out and do that, but I don't know, what if you found out the next day you wouldn't get another day? It's
yeah, I know, I get that. Yeah.
Well,
no, you're right. And back to the fate thing, I don't know. I don't think that there's like a puppet up there that's like, choosing your next play. I don't know. Who knows? Life is so...
You brought it up.
No, but life is so weird. Like, life is just so weird. You don't really know anything. And especially like as somebody like ourselves that aren't religious, so we don't choose a path and like stick to that and we're like, this is what we believe in, right? Because that's what people do when they have a religion that they can follow. They firmly believe in what is said for them. But as somebody that's not really, I just kind of go all over the place. And I'm like, I don't know what happens. I don't know this. This is weird. And if I overthink it too much, me, not much of an overthinker with those things. I'm like, that's crazy. Like when they show you Earth and then they keep going out and out and out and out, and you're like, what? Like we're so small. We're like a speck.
I know.
A speck. So what the hell else is out there? And I'm like, it's kind of fun to think that maybe there's another Sheridan living somewhere and I'm doing their things or whatever, you know?
Man, you're going real meta on this, aren't you?
No, but it's and I don't
Oh
think
man, you're having my type of convo right now. Is this?
but I don't
Is this the episode?
No, I think it's cool to think about sometimes, and not that I smoke weed really ever, for no reason other than I think that I just get paranoid. But I remember a couple of times when I'd be at my cottage looking at the bonfire, and I had smoked a joint with my dad or something, and then I just start thinking about the world. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, that's why life is so awesome.
Yeah.
Because it really is. It's so random, and like I just think that every day that you're taking a breath and getting the opportunity to enjoy this amazing life that we're so privileged to live around us is so incredible. Because the mere existence of life is such a crazy, ridiculous thing. Like we are literally, this rock that we call Earth is perfect. If it moved 100 feet off the trajectory that it's on, everything wouldn't work out anymore. It's like, it's perfect. There's the perfect amount of gas and carbon dioxide, and the fact that like the center of the Earth is this like molten spinning pile of rock. Like it actually rotates around inside of the Earth. And like the moon is the only reason any of this works, because the moon's actually what creates the tides and everything and brings the tides in and out. It's like it's so many variables of perfectness. It's fucking mind-boggling. Like,
Right?
It's so crazy. And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what's so sad about humans. Like that we're out here like fighting and arguing and killing each other and arguing about everything in the whole world. Like over what? Like all of us, all 8 billion of us should be so stoked every day that we're just like doing this. Like it's like, anyway, what is happening in this episode right now? Let's go back to nips.
No, I was gonna say that sometimes when I think too much about it and life and this like that, I have this sudden urge to want to experience more. Like, I don't know about you, but there's times like even if like there's a few content creators that I follow that just packed everything up and they moved and they went and they lived. Not to say we're not, but like they're traveling, they're doing shit with their kids, and you know, they're exploring this and that and this and that. And then sometimes I sit here and I'm just like, should we be doing that? You know, should we just say fuck off? But then you have the other part of you where it's like my friends, my family, my everything. Like, how do you know?
I'm so glad. Okay. I'm going on a mini tangent here.
Okay.
I'll try and incorporate you in this a little bit. No. This is a conversation. It's not just me. I'm kidding. Okay. So my brother Mike and I took the kids out on the weekend, and we went up in the mountains and played with the kids and everything, and just had like an awesome day. Mike is 12 years younger than me. His birthday's like a month
pretty soon, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. March. Yeah. Mike's a twin, and they're 12 years younger than me, like, which is crazy because like who's 12 years older than one of their siblings? Yeah. Like, it's like you don't hear that too often. No. But the cool thing was I totally remember them being born. Anyway, way off track. So Mike is at this like weird stage in his life. He's an engineer, and he's working for Lindsay Construction, and he's like doing his thing. He's happy. Maybe this is like TMI. I don't know. But it's fine. He's happy, but he like longs for more in his life.
I think we all do.
Not everybody.
But I don't
think everyone does.
But what I was going to say, I don't think that's TMI. I think there's a lot of people that are like, well, what else? What more can make me happier, right? Yes. Yeah.
And so as we're driving along, Mike and I get in, like, Mike's a thinker. He's like in his own head all the time. It's one of the best things about Mike. And he's just telling me that he's just like, what is his purpose here? And it was just conversation, but at the same time, I almost think Mike was probably like prodding to like his older brother. Yeah. Like what do I make of life? And man, we talked about this like the whole drive back from Wentworth. It was like an hour and a half of talking about this. And, you know, my advice is just my advice. Like, I don't know, everyone has their own opinion on things, but we were just driving along. He was just like trying to find his purpose. And I don't know, it's kind of like winging it and freestyling through it. And it kind of seems like he feels like he has more to offer the universe than what he's currently doing.
Yep.
And where am I going with this? I was just like,
well, you said
like,
you're so glad I brought that up about us doing other things.
It's just, so I am super lucky, I think, to be the person that I am, because I find, and this is why I always say on the podcast, to like strive to be like embrace your creativity. Because if you're creative, and I don't mean drawing, that's not what I mean. I just mean like when you think creatively, you unlock your true potential. I really find. So Mike and I, so all that to say, like, if all of a sudden Tim and I were like, let's fold dose up and do something else, I would find something else to do in 48 hours. It would take me no time. I'd be like, oh man, I've always wanted to start a barbecue sauce company. Right. I love barbecue sauces. Right. I'm going to go make one. Right. I'm going to design one, get a website up, make a name for it, create sauces, team up with Ryan. We'll make a barbecue sauce company. I've always wanted to do it. I can do anything. I could do anything. I've always wanted to make a skateboard company. I'll go do that. I'll do anything.
Right.
So like Mike is here and he's like, I like surfing and I'm an engineer. What do I do? Like, what am I? And he's just like lost. But he's forging ahead. He's not at a standstill. He still has a good job, and he went to school, and he's making progress in his soul as a human. But he just feels like, what is my purpose and what am I doing?
Right.
And I told him, I was like, happiness is something that you find within yourself. Which is a funny thing coming from a guy that has all these toys in the driveway and everything. Like, I kind of like ball out on some things. But I find I have peace inside me. I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy with my trajectory. I'm happy with my beautiful wife, our kids, my work. I find fulfillment in my life every day. And I was telling Mike, I was like, there's not going to be some shining star in front of you. It's not like you're going to wake up when you're 27 and go, that's it. That's what it was all along. It's something that you need to look inside to find and reflect internally on what it is that brings you joy and then do more of that. So like my life of being a graphic designer, it wasn't like it made a lot of sense from a monetary standpoint, or like this is the best trajectory for you because it will allow you to raise a family and blah, blah, blah. It was just what I really enjoyed doing. And I did a lot of years of it for almost nothing financially. I was doing it because it brought me joy and happiness. So for Mike, I looked at him the other day and I said, why do you live here? Like, why stay here? If the thing that brings you the most joy in the world is surfing and hanging out with people, then like, why don't you hypothetically just pack up and go to Costa Rica? Just grow your hair out, get a surfboard, a bomb-ass tan, and go there and surf. Because I come home every 8 months, like, I'll miss you a lot. He's one of my best friends. But like, why don't you do that? Like, if that brings you happiness. And he got quiet for a couple of minutes, like just kind of like thinking. And I'm not saying Mike has to run away to Costa Rica. I think what I'm saying is just like manifesting great things that bring you happiness. So it's like, if Mike enjoys surfing and he already has put the time in to be an engineer, is there some way that he could like get a small business loan to like design a really cool surf shop that's like revolutionary? Like, what, like, how does an engineer think? Like, design or make like a really cool like roof rack for Jeeps or SUVs or something that like you can slide your surfboard in, and when it goes in, it like automatically waxes it, or like something. I don't know. Just like merge your two things that bring you joy in life and create something out of it.
So what did he say when you suggested leaving? Did he have a reason not to?
No. He's gone. He's already gone.
Bye, Mike. No, I think I actually wrote down somewhere, do you live with any regrets? And one that I might personally live with, because as you're speaking about this, I think that I would have had a lot of fun moving somewhere and living that lifestyle. Not a surfing lifestyle, but like being somewhere hot by the ocean. I think I would have thrived in that environment in my 20s before meeting you. And I'm sad that I didn't, because I know myself well enough to know that when the sun is shining and it is warm, I am happy. And I live in Canada, where that doesn't happen very often. Like we have our we have our summers, but we also have spring, fall, and winter. And I mean, me in the summer is like a delight. I love me in the summer. Me every other month, I don't know. It's a hit or a miss.
Okay, let me ask you
So
this.
sometimes I swear, like I've said this before, I'm like, would I be a better parent? And then everybody will be like, well, wait until you get there and then everything changes. But I'm like, would I be a happier, better parent somewhere with palm trees and the ocean?
So is the grass greener on the other side, or would you move down to Arizona or something and there's a giant drought right now? And
Arizona, that's your choice.
No, I'm just saying, like, they won't even let you turn the tap water
Yeah.
on. They've now outlawed having a lawn. They're driving around with tractors and lifting people's lawns up because they absorb too much water. It's like, or you could, like I'm gonna go like down and like rock it out in the Bahamas and then get smoked with a hurricane and everyone dies. It's like,
Matt,
no, I'm just saying
you
that
you make this is why Kaya is the way she is.
No.
You make everything the worst. Excuse me.
No, let me just say my last thing before you paint me out to be a crazy
Fine,
man.
go ahead.
Could I go live in the Bahamas and love it? Absolutely. I'm just saying we always as humans wonder, is it better? And then all of a sudden you get down there and realize like, oh my God, like I kind of miss those rainy days with a book and everything and like drinking my well water because there's lots of it. It's like, I don't know.
I think
nowhere is perfect.
I think that if we didn't have friends here or family here, that I would move.
I would move too.
I mean that.
I think
I would happily live in like
I think I would.
Mexico or something and have this beautiful home where I walk out to
It's
the
funny.
beach.
I think I'd go the other direction.
Where?
I think if we were like getting out of here, maybe I'd just take you right out of it. If I didn't know you would have.
What? Do you have kids? Like hypothetically, if right now we didn't have friends all of a sudden and like bam, boom, where are you bringing us?
I like the snow. I think I'd like go to Alaska.
Okay, we're separating. This is absurd.
No, they have bomb summers and bomb winters.
Or imagine living in like Australia or Hawaii or Italy.
Australia?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Buddy, there's not like Australia's like burning to the ground.
Okay, Mr. Dramatic. Settle down.
Sheridan.
No, I'm not, Matt. You can say anything about any place. All I'm saying is that I think that if the situation was different, that I think I'd be apt to try somewhere else. What do you have to lose, right?
Absolutely.
And
you know what? You could plant me in Timbuk2 and I'd enjoy it. I could find fulfillment.
I think it'd be kind
anywhere.
of fun. And
Do you want to leave?
No, but what I find for you and I is that both of our jobs could be done anywhere. And I think that maybe that's why I tinker on the idea, because if we had jobs.
Tinker?
No, but if I was in teaching and I was at a school and you were. What is so funny about that? Oh my, sometimes you're so annoying. Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I tinker on the idea. Like you're telling me that over there on the other side of the bed, you're wondering if we should move our family to Australia?
No, I'm just saying that I think, given the fact that we both have jobs that we can do remotely, is probably why sometimes I'm like, we could do it.
Yeah.
Whereas if we both were planted here, it wouldn't even cross my mind, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. And I just...
We're planted for different reasons. We're planted because we have a lot of friends and family.
But also, like, I don't know how much we believe in horoscopes, but, like, the Gemini and, like, the ADD thing combined, like, you're going to laugh about that, too? Can somebody zoom in on Matt's stupid face right now? Again? What?
Just keep
No, because you're annoying me. I'm just saying that those...
I can't even look at you over there right now.
Never mind. Are we done the episode?
No, keep going. I like this. Keep going. Tell me more about how you want to leave Canada.
No, never mind. I'm just
Sheridan,
saying
tell me
that
about
there's traits in me that's like always trying to go somewhere, as you joke
Yeah, that's
about.
your father.
No,
that's your father in you.
It's not just
never,
that.
never can stay still.
There's a lot of people.
You're going to Montreal on a whim in like a week from now. The kids literally look at you and are like, "Man, you're always on the go."
No, I'm not,
buddy. Yeah, you are.
Okay.
You're always going around. That's all right, though. It's your thing. You're a drifter. You're half a drifter.
Where do I drift to?
Toronto, Montreal.
Oh my!
You look great over there, hon.
Yeah,
Okay, look.
Come back.
Look,
What?
no. I think if I was just over here, like, yeah. Like, would the show even be interesting? I'm just saying to think about the fact that in the present moment, our life is perfect. You're alive. You're breathing. The sun does shine here 6 months of the year relentlessly. It's brutal. We don't even have winters anymore. Like, give it 20 years, it's going to be tropical here. It's crazy.
Do you think...
Could we pick up and go, yes?
Do you think that your past relationships and infidelity has just a total 180 has affected our relationship?
What kind of question is that?
Well, I'm bringing it up.
When you know the answer.
I'm bringing it up because last night when like we were giggling and laughing about something and you're like, what did you say? Oh, because I didn't want to snuggle you or something. And you're like, this reminds me of what it was like when we were at the 10-year mark.
What?
That's literally what you said.
Oh my God. That was taken way out of context.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
You said these were the signs. You did.
I didn't say that.
I'm pretty sure you did.
You just invented that with your librarian haircut over there. You
okay,
literally,
leave me my haircut on. I
you
have
literally
to
just, Sharon.
I'm gonna pee my
Oh my God.
I'll give you time.
Sharon's on a pee break. Pee breaking.
I just looked in the mirror and my hair looks so bad. There'll be no reels of me this episode.
Okay. What? Did our previous relationship, my previous relationship affect our marriage? Mm-hmm. Of course it did.
But I mean, like,
absolutely. We just finished saying that you are an amalgamation of all of your events in your life. But for sure, having a woman cheating on me for years, did it play a part in my life? Absolutely. Oh my God. What is that now?
Is it worse?
So Sharon just put her hair up in a bun and like, I don't even know what to think.
It's cute.
Okay. Yeah, it's cute.
Hater. Yeah, I don't even know what to think. Like, it's that bad? No, I'm asking because I don't think at this point in our relationship that my past relationship affects our life at all, in fact. But you, I think because you were in a longer relationship, and this is, well, we've surpassed the place now, but this is how long, you and your past ones lasted. I just wonder how much it has affected you, maybe even without you even realizing.
I'm sure it probably does.
Yeah. Okay, good talk.
I don't know. Like, I think, yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird thing to be like at the 7.5 year mark in a relationship with somebody and then find out that like she's in another relationship.
Yeah, that's
like raising someone else's child.
Right.
Like actually imagine that. Mm-hmm. And like,
I can't because I would never, and you can't because you would never.
No, but here's the thing though. Like, also imagine the fact that like in those given moments leading up to this discovery, like life was like pretty good.
Right.
I mean, like, yeah, it was, some ups and downs like any relationship has. But I mean, like, imagine just finding that out with somebody that you own a house with. You've raised their child basically since birth.
Right.
And then find out that they have another life. Imagine that. Actually imagine.
And I think that's where you have the issues because of the simple fact that you were very much blindsided from it. I mean, there was always like little signs here and there, let's say, but had it been like a shitty relationship and rockiness and in and out and breakup, blah, blah, blah. But like you just said, your relationship was great to an extent.
It was decently
and you didn't
good.
Like you certainly didn't expect it to be
what
it was.
So us at the 9 year mark, like, do I walk around thinking anything would ever happen to us? No, not at all. Not at all. 0. Mm-hmm. Decimal 0.1. No, everything's all good. When I was messing with you last night, I was literally just messing with you. Am I worried about our relationship, Sheridan? No, not at all. And I've even been saying to people recently that I honestly don't know if we've ever been better.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, I've said this to a few people. You know why? Because I feel like we've had every fight imaginable. I don't really think there's anything left.
There's always fights to have.
There's nothing left to fight. No, but when was our last like serious like battle?
That would be when we had the argument before we went up to the
like 3 months or something. Like this is like quite a run we're on here. we're doing well here.
But also keep in mind,
it was the worst high five.
It isn't always the big blow-ups. Lots of times it's just the little things that lead to an explosive, not to say...
No, but I don't even really find there's many little things right now. I find like we're doing like pretty well.
I read...
The biggest thing in our life right now, and then you can go, It's just Theodore's just like the constant handful of Theo. Like even yesterday, like something happened when Theodore and I were like bickering about something, and you were like, "Did you actually just do that?" And I'm like, "Oh my God!" Like, it's just, there's just so much stuff just raising kids. But like me and you were just like flawless over here. I don't know. I feel pretty good about it.
I read something somewhere one time that said the best marriage advice that they got was to not treat your partner, a wife or husband, like a roommate. So don't focus on the fact that, you don't do laundry or that you don't clean
Oh my God.
or that you don't, whatever. Those are roommate things.
We all do our
Like
things.
when I was living in university, I would get annoyed if somebody didn't, replace the shampoo or if they didn't take the garbage out because they were my roommate.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you're annoying. Figure it out. But it's your partner. So don't fight over the roommate type shit. Like move on to the bigger things.
It's great advice.
Get over that.
Yeah.
Right. And I think I've done a much better, me personally, I'm doing a much better job at that. I'll never forget. I'll never forget when I was away. I forget where I was. But we had been together for like 6 years living here. And you called me and you're like, okay, don't make a big deal out of this, but where are the clean towels?
Oh my God.
And I thought, oh my God.
I think I knew the vicinity of them. I just didn't.
And I said, in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, he's never gotten the towels. But that's my thing. I bring the towel, like whatever,
Sharon, where are the pink slips for your van?
The pink slips for my van. Like,
do you know what a pink slip is?
The new ones that we just got?
No, that's insurance papers.
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
You keep cleaning the house, keep it tidy. I'll make sure I know where the pink slip is. That's an even trade, eh?
Okay.
Kidding. It's a terrible trade. We just have our things, and you're absolutely right.
We do have our things. And the most important thing for me is that you recognize my things.
Oh my God.
And that's what
Yes.
And I think that that's the most important, is that if I did those things and didn't get, recognition, not even praise, just recognition for it, as in like, wow, you do a lot, then I think I would get frustrated. But instead, you come over, I forget what it was the other day, but I had already cleaned up the sink or something. And you're like, you just never stop moving and cleaning, and you recognize it. So that's fine with me.
Oh, I recognize it.
Yeah.
I see probably mostly everything you do, I think.
And I think
I'm like, oh my God.
I think for me, the thing that I recognize with you the most that comes top of mind is how much time you spend with our kids. And I think that I don't take that for granted. When you say, I'm going to bring the boys, or I'm going to, like, you always bring them. You always bring one.
You're signing up for like.
It's a lot. It's a lot, for sure. But you do it and you don't make me feel bad about it. And you don't say, oh, well, have a nice day. Like you just go. And I recognize that. And I appreciate that a lot, because I've come to learn that as like to be a better mom and wife, like I need those breaks.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And I think I might even need them more than you. Mm-hmm. I think I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I'm so glad you're saying this on air right now, because I find like over the last like 20,000 episodes that we've done, it literally like you're never downplaying my involvement, but you never actually brought up the fact before that I actually take the kids with me all the time.
everywhere.
Like all the time. I never leave the boys behind.
To the point where I think I've even said this before, but one time you're like, I'm going to the grocery store. I said, okay. You're like, Kaya, Theo said you want to come? And I'm like, you're bringing all three to the grocery store? And you're like, yeah, why not?
I've done that a bunch of times.
And to me, I'm like, you're out of your mind. I'll maybe bring one if I'm feeling generous. But you just do that. And you've always done it, even at a young age of bringing Kaya to Mike's games when she was in her bear suit and getting passed around. You've always brought your children with you everywhere. And
That's why the kids and I are friends.
No, but I really appreciate that. And not everybody's like that. And I would never even hate on somebody that wasn't. If you weren't like that, I would understand, because I'm kind of the same way. But it's just, I'm really grateful that you are like that, because, and the kids have a great time with you. And I think most of the time you have a great time.
No, we do.
Yeah.
Why else? Well, okay. We wrap up on this. There's two reasons I bring them. I bring them, A, because I just love spending time with them. I know they're safe with me. We have fun together, whatever. But I also know, and I recognize, and I don't go looking for credit for it, but I can read the room and I know when you need a minute. So like when Saturday was rolling around, the best thing for me to do when I had to go to Wentworth to go look at that property wasn't to leave you with 3 kids or 2 of them. like the best thing to do is to bring the boys and me, give you a break. I literally said to Mike, I said, you want Sharon will go to a movie today and go to lunch somewhere. And then when we got out of the mountains and had cell service again, I look at the thing and you did it with that like really cute reel thing. Right. But you ended up at a movie, you went and had lunch and then threw Build-A-Bear. But I knew what your day was going to be. Yeah. And I'm really happy that like you get that time with Kaya. Other thing I want to say right now is like, if you're listening to this show and you ever wonder like, does Matt spend one-on-one time with Kaya? I barely do, but here's the thing though. I love Kaya a lot and she knows that. And I tell her 100 times a day and I show her 100 times a day as well. But like generally speaking, I bring the boys with me doing, I'm going to say boy shit, but and then it just sounds sexist. But I bring them with me, I think oftentimes to like alleviate that from you. Because I think I can deal with their bullshit a little bit better than you can. And then I know that you and Kaya like are like perfectly in sync together and it's great. But man, when I get a day with Kaya and get to spend alone time with Kaya, which is like, I should make more of an effort. But when I do, they're like the best days of my life. She's the coolest. She is the best person ever. She's
very sweet. You also do spend time with Kaya though, like when you put her to sleep.
Yeah, I do.
Which is really good times. And I even find with Theo too, when you lie with your children and put them to bed, they have like they're kind of winding down, they're not as hyper, and those are sometimes some of the best chats that you can have. But I agree, and I think for me personally it's really nice with our boys and the way that they are and their wild rambunctious personalities to have you spend time with them and put them in their place a little bit differently than I do, because I think that they, I don't know how to explain it, but they kind of just like, I'm mom. It's just different. And so I think like it's crucial at this point in their lives to be spending a lot of time with you. So you can teach them different things and stuff, because I'll always be here as their mom. You know what I mean? That's not going anywhere.
Part of me wonders maybe if they should spend more time with you to be more. Anyway, yeah, they're like our boys are like boys. You know, like they're like, oh my God, they're a handful. They are. Well, and now they're starting to play fight with each other, which also then turns into like Sage screaming, but then laughing, but then crying, and Theo's like older and trying to rough him up, but then Sage is like crying about it, and you're like, you started it. Like, it's difficult at this point right now, but I do think over time, like also on the flip side this weekend when they were together, like they spend a lot of time together. Kai hangs out by herself and Theo and Sage are sitting around watching a movie together, eating snacks. Like they, I think, are gonna be really good friends. Yeah, they will. It's gonna take a while.
I know,
because I think there's gonna be this weird thing where like as they start, like I told this at Theodore the other day, it's like Kevin and Buzz in Home Alone. Yep. Like Sage is gonna want to hold his tarantula and all that kind of shit, but like, and he's gonna be up there like punking him. That's definitely gonna happen as they start, because they're that perfect like age gap. He's three and a bit years older than Sage, so it's gonna be like,
oh, for sure,
like, bro, and don't touch my sweater. Like,
no, you're right.
Touch
and
my
like
J's.
Even yesterday when we were out in the woods, and how Theo went and hid, and then he started. And then did you notice I said to Sage, "Do you want to do it too?" And then he ran up.
Yeah, it was so cute.
And copied Theo because he wants to do everything his big brother does. Yeah. Which can of course be annoying for the big brother, right? Because anyway. Yeah. The family dynamics.
Okay, I gotta get back to work. This is great. That little nip shadow you're casting over there.
Leave my boobs alone, you and your dimes.
Probably like, I'm trying to think. It would be like, no, I'm trying to think of like a good example right now. It'd be like yours are very salami-ish.
Oh my God.
Super salami-ish.
But that's not the nipple. That's the areola, bud.
Okay, then areola.
That's a big difference. But yes, people care.
People just kind of bundle it together.
No, they don't. No.
No one cares about
I'm not talking about this for another hour.
Everyone cares about how much areola there is.
Goodbye.
That's what people think about.
Goodbye.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Peace.
It's the Two Gems Podcast.